Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Today is November the 23rd, 2020. Today's math, just doing the day. To the end of November, once again, it's 23. The 23rd degree is wisdom, understanding, which is 2 and 3. Showing and proving, power and refinement. 2 plus 3 is 5, which is power and refinement. So what today's math is telling us is that, first of all, we must be wise. That means we must be applying the knowledge. Again, I say wisdom is knowing better and doing better, not just knowing better, because that would just be knowledge. And of course, once you have the wisdom, the next step or the next degree will be understanding. And that is to be wise and to know what to do, how to do it, and how to apply the knowledge. And to have an understanding of what you're doing, a clear picture in your mind of what your actions, the consequences of your actions may be. That in itself is the power. The power which is the truth. And the way this power is found, of course, is through the process of refinement, which is basically perfecting, or the art or the act of perfecting. Again, this whole thing is a process. And again, it's a cycle. Not only is it a process, but it's a cycle, a perpetual cycle that doesn't stop. So there is no end to any one of the degrees. It just keeps building and manifesting in different ways. So again, today, the math is the 23rd degree, that is wisdom and understanding, all being born to the 5th degree, which is power and refinement. And again, in my opinion, that is telling us that we must be wise and to be applying the knowledge in the hopes to find understanding, a clear picture, and that picture should be the truth. And in that truth, we will find our own power. And of course, that power is not perfect. The truth is not necessarily, like, knowing the truth does not make your life perfect. Whatever truth that may be. In fact, the truth is probably the hardest pill to swallow besides pride. Especially when it's something that counteracts or goes against what you already believe. So again, this is why we put refinement with power. Oh, Poor Righteous Teachings. Make sure you go get your merch and whatnot. Excuse me. Yes. So this wisdom, or the application of the knowledge, should be giving us a clear picture or understanding. And that understanding should be of the truth. And that truth is where our power lies. And we'll take that truth and hold it near and dear, while also trying to get everything else to be aligned with that truth that we know. And that process is called refinement. Let me think of an analogy or an example. I won't be able to think of one. Example of the truth. The math itself teaches the seven. The seventh degree is God's self. Once you know that truth, that you are God and I am God and the trees are God and everything is God, and as far as being all connected and being all connected back to the high source. Not that the trees can give birth or make reality, but in the sense that they are an extension of the highest power, the most high power. Like I was saying, once you come to the truth of the seventh degree, which is the God self, that truth does not give you supreme power. But what it does give you is a sense of power that comes from that truth, to know your own responsibility, your own accountability, and everything that you do, and how you do have control over stuff. And by knowing this truth, this knowledge that we just found, and applying it in wisdom to gain a better understanding, to make it more than a habit and make it a way of life, or culture that, of course, should always be rooted in freedom, or freedoms, the ability to think for oneself. Again, that brings us to the power degree and the process of going back through the cycle or cipher and continuously building on what you thought you already knew, to find, even if you don't get any more knowledge, just to build back on it to get a better or a clearer picture with more detail, or to zoom out and get a bigger picture, however you want to look at it. That process in itself is refinement, to be as close to perfect as possible, as if, if you know calculus and you know limits, as we approach infinity, our limit should be positive infinity. We should be growing as we grow, if that makes any kind of sense. Again, today is 11/23/2020. That is the 23rd degree, which is wisdom and understanding, showing and proving power and refinement. Peace and blessings to all. Make sure y'all check out storefrontier.com/Poor Righteous Teachings, or you can just go to poorrighteousteachings.com and click on the tab that says, or the page that says, PWT Apparel. Shop with me, because shop with me and build with me. More importantly, it's free to do that. And by going through the motions or explaining something that I myself may feel like I already understand, trying to put it into words for the next person helps me get, in turn, a better understanding, a clearer picture of what I already knew, which is why they say, you can learn something, you can know something, but when you can teach it, then you really know it. That makes you the expert. But I'm no expert, so don't think that's what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, when y'all reach out and say, hey, can you explain this, or point me in a direction so I can do my own research on this, that helps me. So let me help you, help me help you, Peace and blessings. PoorRighteousTeachings.com. You already know.